from 21 September 2018 to 20 January 2019,
Palazzo Strozzi is hosting Italy's first retrospective devoted to Marina Abramovic. But who is Marina Abramovic? She's one of the most discussed artists today, famous for her groundbreaking performance works, but also she's a very controversial figure on the contemporary art scene. Okay, but what important did she do for the art world, maybe you ask? In this video I'm going to talk about the exposition which I visited this October in Florence.
The exhibition took place in the Palazzo Strozzi, one of the finest examples of Renaissance domestic architecture situated in the heart of Florence. Wasn't it strange to choose such a place for the exhibition of the contemporary art? The palazzo was used as a single exhibition space, thus allowing Marina Abramovic for the very first time to take her measure of Renaissance architecture. And this exhibition, considered as the result of direct cooperation with the artist, and it's not the first exhibition of contemporary artists in this place.
The event takes the shape of a great retrospective, bringing together some of 100 artworks by the artist. The exhibition gives an overview of the most celebrated works in the career of Marina Abramovic, from the earliest years until today. We can find here everything: videos, photographs, paintings, object installations, and also archival materials.
But the most interesting part was the live re-performance of her celebrated performances by a group of performers specifically selected and trained for the show. Now we will follow in the footsteps the exhibition. However, it was in the 1970s that she began to work on performances involving the direct use of her own body. The exhibition begins with her collaborative works with German artist Ulay. She met him in 1975 and established a human and professional partnership, symbolized by the Citroën van in which the two lived. The van is on display in the courtyard of Palazzo Strozzi. Many of the pieces performed by the two are present on video form, including ones in which Ulay and Abramovic yell at each other for hours. At the Galleria Comunale d'Arte Moderna in Bologna, Marina Abramovic and her partner Ulay spent 90 minutes standing facing each other, motionless and naked, in a narrow entrance passage, forcing visitors wishing to enter the museum to squeeze between them. Those who wish to have an access to the next part of the exhibit should pass between the two naked bodies of two trained artists. This dual performance called imponderabilia. One nude male and one nude female, who are actors, face each other in a narrow doorway, forcing the visitors to choose which model to face when awkwardly sliding through. In the next room, we can watch on the screen The Lovers, performance with which they marked the end of their relationship. The two artists symbolically walked the length of the Great Wall of China in order to meet in the middle and say goodbye. Performances inspired by the tragedy of the war in Bosnia, for example Balkan Baroque, may be the most impressive part of exhibition. The exhibition also showcases such works associated with the Balkan world, for example the controversial Balkan erotic epic cycle, which we may watch on the 3 screens in the empty room with black wall. Abramovic also pursued her research into the themes of mediation and transcendence, which she expressed in transitory objects. In the next room, we find different tools for interior journeys made of materials such as quartz or obsidian. A manifesto, the artist is present, staged at the MoMA in New York for the first time, and has his version in Italy. The artist is present where Abramovic sat unmoving in the museum for more than 700 hours over a 3-month period, so that spectators could share her gaze for anywhere from a few minutes to a whole day. The audience has a possibility to do the same thing. There are 2 giant screens featuring feeds of Abramovic and the people who sat opposite her at MoMA, accompanied by a table and chairs, so that guests may recreate the installation. And it's really a very great experience. You perceive the energy of the person in front of you and his being. Counting the rice is an exercise for visitors who are invited to take a seat at a long table and to count or sort grains of rice and lentils. The exercise is designed to instill a sense of calm, concentration, and attentiveness. One of the most notable aspects of the show is its interactive nature. In 2 rooms, there are platforms where guests can lie and meditate for an indefinite period of time, and live re-performances of legendary performances will punctuate the entire run of the exhibition. The exhibit displays some of the enormously prolific nature of Abramovic's work from the past 13 years. This exhibition shows Marina Abramovic as a woman who, with her works, has revolutionized the very idea of performance art. In what way? She put her body to the test to probe her outer limits and her potential for expression in the quest for emotional and spiritual transformation. The body is both her subject and medium. She presents her works that physically and mentally challenges the performer and the viewer at the same time. And finally, this retrospective will introduce Abramovic, widely acclaimed for the importance of her contribution to the history of performance art, to an Italian audience.